Hi, JamesAnimalHarrison. I'm back with the new lesson for Wednesday. Last week I talked about how to tune a snare drum. Today we're going to talk about how to tune a tom. What I have today is I have a Yamaha Maple Custom. It is a 10 by 7.5, I believe. Maple shell, the small gold lugs, the cast aluminum hoops, I believe. Anyway, so what I've done is I've done all this to be what a lot of people say is completely loose on both sides. To save time, I didn't want to take them off and everything like that. But what I've done is loosen them. So you can see they're all loose, okay? And now, often I talk about going around and doing finger tight. I will say something about the Yamaha Maple Custom drums. And I have a recording custom and a Birch Absolute custom as well. They don't do this, but this one does. There's a lot of resistance in these turning the lugs, so finger tight can be a problem with these. But what I use is I use the Remo drum key. First off, it's very heavy. It has a bit so you can stick it into a drill or a cordless screwdriver. I never do that. But it has this rubber grommet on top, and it allows me to turn the key without using the quote-unquote wings on it. So I can go around and try to make sure that these are to a point where we would normally call that finger tight. And what you can do to check this is look at the washer next to the tuning rod, and if I can turn that and I see that that is no longer loose, then I am at the, I can't move the lug, I'm at that finger tight point, okay? So I can feel that, see if I hear it rattle, or if I can move the lug at all. So that one's tight. There, so now, there's a pitch to this already because I'm at that finger tight. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, you can do a half turn, a quarter turn, or something like that. But I like to start where the logo is, and I don't know if you can see that under here. Here's the logo on this head right now. So I'm going to start to the left of that, and I'm just going to do a complete half turn, okay? And go across, and then across from there. Now this is going to be actually quite high, but I'm doing this for a reason. All right. So I've got that tight. I'm going to push out a little bit, try to stretch it out, and then I can go around. So I'm going to bring this one up just a little bit. Bring this one up a little bit. Get it pretty close in the ballpark. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to turn this over to the top head now. Okay, you can see this has the yes mounting system. This is the old style yes mounting system. So again, the head is completely loose. And you can see the lugs and the rim do move. So what I'm going to do is the same thing I did a while ago. I'm going to start here in front of me, and I'm going to move this until I feel that the tension rod is basically finger, what I would normally call finger tight. And I know that it's actually touching the rim. All the way around to what I would normally call a finger tight position. Okay, so I've done that all the way around. I've got this resting on a conga drum because I feel like you need to have this setting on something so you only tune one head at a time. And so I will do that for you. All right, so now you can see that that's loose. And this one's moving just a little bit, so I need to give it just a little bit more of a turn. Okay. Okay, now we're finger tight. So I'm going to start in the same place, right? I always start usually one left of the logo. And these heads have been on here. These are not, I didn't switch the heads. I just loosened them to show you how I tune them. So what I did, I'm just going to do a quarter turn. See that? That's it, just a quarter. I'm going to go opposites. And here I'm just doing, here's level, I'm just doing a quarter turn. It's a very small amount. Now, if this was a new head, I could probably do a little bit, maybe like a half turn. And now I'm going to go around. So I hear a couple of them that are a little bit high. Trying to get them in the ballpark. Now that will already give me a sound, and I'm gonna take this stick. As you can see, there's already a sound there, and we're gonna check the interval. So I have. Okay, so now whatever I do on the top head, to get it more in the fine tuning, you know, range. I got a snare right here. Hang on, turn the snares off there. There's also about 15 snare drums in the room right now. So I try to get that there. Now, obviously you're hearing some snares buzz. So I can go ahead and check again. And just fine tune. Okay, so the bottom head is pretty firm. I'm going to check the top head again. We'll check the drum. That's not bad. Stretch it out. I'm going to bring it up just a tad. And so I'm going to, on the left of the logo again, I'm just going to do an eighth of a turn. Now this is probably about as high as I'd ever want to get this drum for rock-oriented stuff. Let's check the intervals between. So here's the bottom head. Bring these down just a tad because I really don't want to take the drum up any higher. And I've talked about this before. If you get to where you're hearing so many overtones and it's bothering you, just take your finger and just touch it. You can hear where it's higher a little bit. Okay, let's check it now. I like to get a lot of punch. Okay, and the idea is I want to keep some kind of a relationship to high, low. All right, and if I feel like this is too high, and it probably is a little bit high, then I'm just going to lower it about the same amount I did. I'm going to lower it about an eighth of a turn. So either way, it's still going to be higher because I started off with more of a turn. And let's check it now. So you can see it's really starting to get more of that low punch to it, and then you can, like I said, you can go around and fine tune. And get it dialed in the way you want it. And again, if there were some of these snare drums in here, it would probably be a better deal. Hope that's in the picture for it. That's what I do with my toms. So if I start with the bottom head and I get them both to a certain point, no matter what I do, I turn that one a little bit more to start, and then I try to keep that relationship the same as I move up. Then I know that my bottom head is going to be tighter, and what that does for me, it gives me a little bit of a pitch bend, and it usually makes the drums not sustain as long, so that if you're miking them, you're going to get that great studio type sound. Obviously, some people are very much against muffling and all kinds of things. I just think it depends on the room and the situation. And I feel like if the top studio drummers in the world can throw tape on there or do whatever they need to do to get the sounds, then so can the touring drummers and everything like that. Some people argue, say, well, you don't know how to tune a drum. I would never say to John J.R. Robinson that he doesn't know how to tune a drum, or to some of the top studio cats, Larry London days, and he used to muffle and tune really weird, and just so many drummers. Vinny Colaiuta, you're going to tell them they don't know how to tune a drum if they use muffling? No, of course not. They do what they need to do to get the sounds. Jeff Porcaro, all those guys. So there's always going to be some purists that are against that. That's up to you. It seems odd to me that so much of the technology today has made the drum shells better and the mounting systems better to allow for the most sustain possible, yet we've gone the opposite direction in a lot of the drum heads, where we make a lot of pre-muffled things and whatever. I don't like pre-muffled heads. I never have, because you're always stuck with that. You can't undo the muffling. So I prefer, if I have to do muffling because I'm in a room with hard surfaces like this one right here, or on a stage that doesn't have a lot of curtain and carpets and stuff, that I need to be able to do what I need to do to create the effect I need. And if it's pre-muffled, I'm always stuck with that. So this is a Remo Emperor, and basically it's the Yamaha version of the Ambassador on the bottom of this one. That's what I use for most of my rock stuff. And if I need to put a gel on it, or a piece of tape, or whatever, then I can do that based on the room I'm in. If I don't need it, then I certainly don't use it. But for those who mic, miking is a completely different world than just playing wide open acoustics. And you can look up all kinds of things about that on YouTube. But there is a difference when miking. So anyway, there you go. That's how I tune my toms. I always tune the bottom head a little bit higher to start with, and whatever I do, like if I get to a certain point, I want to keep that relationship the same. And to me, I go anywhere between a half step to a third apart. Sometimes if you go much farther apart than that, they don't really work very well. So that's what I like to do, and that's how I do my toms. So good luck with it. Again, this is a Yamaha Maple Custom, gorgeous drum. Had them for since maybe 94 or 95 when I signed out with Yamaha. So this kit is it's the first kit I actually bought from Yamaha. So it's a great drum. So there you go.